The following session will see Amey Holden and Megan V. Walker go head to head in the ultimate marketing showdown. Dynamics 365 marketing versus click dimensions. Watch as they endure the clash of the campaigns, as they wrestle with web forms, sock it to social media, and put on an email extravaganza. This presentation is brought to you by Scottish Summit. Please settle back and enjoy the session.
Wow.
Ooh, that was a really intense introduction there. Whoa! Just before we get carried away, I'd like to say thank you to our beautiful sponsors. They've been really great in supporting us to be here. What do you think, Megan?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was quite the intro, wasn't it? We'd like to also thank everybody that is joining us for our session. So a little bit of, well, I think lots of fun, right, Amy?
Oh, yeah.
And then a bit of learning, and hopefully you will enjoy the show. So let's get into this.
Introducing first, from Sydney, Australia. She is the queen of anything but code, but she's here today in battle mode. The thunder from down under, Amey Holden! And next, from the United Kingdom, she is the host of the Up podcast, and she is here to outlast. Here is your choice for customer voice, Megan V. Walker! Round 1. Email extravaganza.
Let's go, Amy.
Rounds up. I think it's time. Dynamics 365, the email editor. Wow, I love the save as feature. So simple. I love a good copy and paste. It is absolutely fantastic. This has come a long way. At first it was pretty flaky, but it's come a really long way. I think one of my favorite things about it is just the flexibility. You can generate your own things, or you can get it to do things for you. It's a really nice WYSIWYG click and drag kind of experience, and you can add so many different elements to the emails and the forms. I just think it's just bazinga. But I will not say it is all powerful and mighty, because the color selection is pretty naff, and I find myself copying and pasting hex codes all over the place. F5, F5, F5 is my personal favorite. And sometimes you get a bit stuck. But I really like things like you can stick the event button on and just look for the event, and it fills in all the fancy stuff in the background for me. Absolutely great. Then you get to a place like this where I'm like, oh, I wish that box had, like maybe some rounded edges, or, oh, like why can't I do what I want to with that stupid right alignment? This is where it wins for me. I can't really write code, but I can Google how to write HTML and CSS. So I love just being able to flick into the HTML editor, dropping in, doing the control find, which is really nice, dropping in little snippets of code here and there, and before your eyes, you get your beautiful rounded button.
Nice.
I promise I will copy and paste this in. Ta-da! Not bad, hey? Not bad. So I love the flexibility of that. And I also love the amazing tools that come with the emails. So it's more than just adding in your emails. Towards the end, you can see at the top here, I can have a look at all the previews, and I can see it on a desktop, but also a tablet. And also, what about portrait and landscape? I think it's really nice to be able to see it in all sorts of walks of life because things do look really different and we're in a very mobile world now. So it's really cool that I can check and say, does it look good on mobile as well as a big, beautiful desktop? The final bazinger, the spam checker. Spam checker and accessibility checker. So you know it's going to end up in someone's inbox rather than their junk mail. And also that you're hitting all the accessibility markers. Accessibility isn't really sexy. It's not important enough today than it should be. But I really like that marketing makes it kind of sexy and easy. Accessibility. Oh. But does
All right,
Vegemite
then.
really taste like Australia? Let me tell you.
It sounds
It does.
disgusting.
It's delightful.
Is it disgusting? It's
the best
Is
thing
it like
ever.
Marmite?
I don't know. I've never had Marmite.
Oh, well, that's disgusting. So anyway, so nicely done. Okay, all right,
Thank
then
you.
let's see
What
what
do you
we've
got?
Let's move on. Let's move on to click dimensions. All right, so we're going to look through the emails for click dimensions. And the first thing is we can start from templates. So we've got a nice little template here that I've created before. I can go ahead and look at it. I can make changes to that one. I can start and create a brand new one. So when we do the templates, what we're able to do is set these up so that other people within the marketing team have a really good starting point. So I can have my templates, so they've got the correct HTML in there, they've got the correct footer stuff in there with social media links. It's basically giving them a good starting point. So I've got some basic layouts that I could go ahead and pick from. I've got some featured ones that would come with click dimensions. And we can also set up the corporate style. So what are the actual headers supposed to look like? What's a bulleted or numbered list supposed to look like? That kind of thing. And then also I might have my own layouts that I've saved, created, and so on. Once I've got that layout in, I can go ahead and start from this one that I've picked that was a featured one. I can remove blocks, I can change the images on different blocks, I can change the text, the font, and so on. And then I can really pick and choose what elements I want to see within that email template. So again, I talked about social links, so I can drag my social links and pick and choose what I want to show on there. Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever it is that we have as a corporation. I've also got social share links to make it easier for the recipients to just go ahead and click and share. And then I've got things like buttons that I can drag in and then adjust the text in terms of what I want to see. So once we've got our template that we've created, we can then go ahead and do our email send. So what do we want to actually be sending out? Oh, look, we're going to send something out about Scottish Summit, our session. Is everyone going to be coming to this session? So I can then look for my template, and it might not be the exact thing that I want, but I've got that as my starting point. And then I can put in my subject. And I can personalize that subject by pulling from fields on the contact record or a lead record or an account. So I've got the ability to go ahead and pull in and say first name and then put the rest of the subject and say, are you going to be attending our session? And guess what? I can also then put in a nice emoji at the end of that as well. So I can put those in. And the pre-header is really important so that when I actually have the email and it's received, depending on the specific email client that someone's using, I might also see that as well. So it's an additional way to be marketing to somebody and share. I can link this to a campaign. So it's a great way to be able to use the core functionality with Dynamics and then be able to go in and see which email sends are tied to a specific standard campaign. Who am I going to be sending this from? Who should we be replying to? And then once I've got all of that, I've actually got this drag and drop editor where it can do the same thing pretty much in terms of what we were looking at with the marketing, where I can go ahead and drag in those elements just in the same way as I did when I was creating the template. So I'm making my changes, I'm putting in whatever I want instead, using that base template to begin with. And we can see I've got all of the different ways in which I can then change the colors, change the fonts, all of that sort of stuff. I can then go ahead and I can test and I can preview. So I can see what it looks in a desktop and in a mobile. And I can also pick a specific recipient to say, well, what would it look like when this person receives this specific email? So we can see Jane, it'll say, hi Jane. How great is that? Because we personalized it. And then we can go ahead, save it, and we can close it. And we're done with our email. So what I can also do is I can go to a marketing calendar and I can look at all of the emails that I've either sent out or that I've scheduled directly from the calendar. We can also then look at our analytics for all of our emails. We can see clicks, opens. We can get all of that detail from this specific dashboard, and we can see exactly who's done what and how people have interacted with our emails. So there you go. What do you think, Ames?
As a technical person, I love it. As
Good.
someone who doesn't do tech, I'm confused as hell.
Why are you confused, woman?
There's so many
It's not that
windows.
hard.
What's an email send? Oh,
Well, should we see who the winner is?
I think we should.
And the
I
winner
think
of
we
this
should.
round goes to Dynamics 365
Oh.
Marketing.
Damn right. Woohoo.
Okay, well,
User
I think actually
experience
there's
is
one.
king.
Well, there's one thing that we both agree on with regards to the emails, and that's the ability to switch, and you highlighted it in your video, with switching to the HTML. Yeah, not as good with click dimensions, because we pick one or the other, don't we, in terms of how we're going to create that template.
But everything else was pretty swish, so it was close.
Yeah, it's pretty
close.
It was close. It was close. All right, so should we move on to the next round?
I think so.
What is it?
Ooh.
Round 2. Wrestling with web forms.
All right. Yeah.
Game on.
Game on. Game face, Ames. All right.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Web forms, hit me. So, something I love about marketing and forms at the same time is the events module. And the really beautiful thing is the way we can use web forms in our events. Little side promo for the Teams Live integration for events while we're here, but I can also fully customize my event forms now. Again, this is using that beautiful, and of course we've got a theme here. We're coming to a Vegemite party. So of course you've got that WYSIWYG drag and drop experience and the previews again, because no one ever actually does things on computers these days. So make things work for your mobile. A lot of the experience is similar to the email. So there's a lot of, what do you say? You gain knowledge of the emails and you become comfortable with the marketing forms. And again, I'm switching to my HTML. I'm hiding fields that I shouldn't be hiding. I'm sneaking in behind the scenes. And once you learn these little snippets of code, it just makes the experience so much nicer. So let's hide that hide me field. Hidden equals hidden. Thank you, W3 schools. And it's gone. It's got built-in capture as well, so that's not something I've built, again, already built into the form. It's great that you capture all the submissions for the form, and we use forms for everything, so subscription centers, etc. There's also this thing here you see that's around double opt-in confirmation. So Dynamics Marketing was built after they brought in that lovely thing called GDPR. And the really great thing is that they really thought about it. So you can easily enable double opt-in confirmation. So that means I sign up for something. I then get an email back saying, are you sure you wanted to sign up for that? Was that definitely you? And you've got to confirm by email. And it's really nice that it's a really slick, baked-in process. You can guide the user through the experience. Once they've confirmed, you can point them out to a beautiful thank you form. And again, you're doing this all with your click and drag experience. I think that just kind of says it all, right? I got a bit of a pickle here that we need some more fonts, I have to admit. But I just want to show you the really nice URL that it creates in the background. So I don't need to do anything apart from create the page, save it. It's all linked together. I'm going to click from my email to confirm. And then I'm able to hop onto that marketing page. Come on. Here we go. It's created its link for me. And thank you very much.
Oh, thanks a bunch.
My pleasure.
Cute.
I'm so polite.
Very nice. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's look at the forms in Click Dimensions. Okay, so similar in terms of we're going to be using forms for slightly, maybe slightly different things. You've got a basic contact us form that we're going to create here. So I've got all of my fields that I've maybe created already, and I can just then drag them onto the form. Where do I want to go ahead and then put these fields? So if I then want to add a new field, maybe I've forgotten, I don't have to go back to the form fields area. I can add it directly from the form area when I'm actually creating the form. Makes it a whole lot faster, and it just means that there's less sort of moving around and having to click and go back and forth. So I can go ahead and determine, well, what type of field is it? Is it text area? Is it an option choice set? Whatever we want to call it. And then where do I want to map this to? So if somebody then fills out that field, where will it go to, either on the lead record or the contact record? Once I've added that field, I can go ahead and then I can move it over and just pop it onto the form directly where I am. I can then move those fields around. I can format it directly from here. So if I want it to go and span all the way across the field, I can across the form, I can do that as well. I've also got capture as well, which is a really good capture because it uses, I believe, Google Capture for this one, which it doesn't for marketing, you know, just saying. And then I've got the different ways in which I can actually access it. So I can do a direct link. I can embed it as a widget. I can embed it as an iframe. So from a webmaster or the designer's perspective, you've got options. I can do iframe where we can see it will look like this. And then we can also switch it and we can do a widget, which means it then is using the styling from the website itself. So we can see it looks a little bit different. So a lot of options in terms of actually embedding it. And when that form is then filled out, we then get what we call the submissions. So who's actually filled out this form, when they filled it out, have we tied it to a campaign? We can see there that we've got a lot of people that have filled out this form, and we can get the analytics to know and then jump directly to either the contact record, if that was what was created, or the lead record, or if it's updated an existing record as well. We can see all of the fields that were then filled out, and we've got the information directly on that record. And if we go into the contact itself, we've got this lovely profile area where we can see all of the posted forms and all of the fields with the responses, and just get a full sort of tracking summary and tracking history of that specific contact. So there you go. Who's won this one?
Well,
What do
you're
you think?
definitely functionalitying all over the place there. My gosh.
Quite a lot going on there with forms and click dimensions. So let's see.
And the winner of this round goes to Click Dimensions.
Although I will say, I still love the aspect of being able to really dig into the HTML in an easy way. Even though you can get to it for click dimensions, it's just a lot more user-friendly for marketing. So I'll give you props on that.
I also give you props for the fact that Missy Elliott's coming to Scottish Summit. Just saying.
You know, I worked really hard for that, so yeah. Thanks, Mick.
Really appreciate it.
All right, what's the next round going to be?
Oh, I wonder.
Round 3. Clash of the Campaigns and Customer Journeys.
Yeah.
Ding, ding. Let's hit it.
Announcer. All right,
I know.
go on,
Who
Mick.
is that? Who is that guy?
I don't know.
He's doing such a great job. Man. All right, the customer journeys. So what I love to really get you started, it comes pre-built with all these things that are like templates out the box. So there's nothing worse than staring at a blank screen. So I love that you can come in and select a pre-built template. You can also create your own template on top of that, and that's ready to go. And it's really easy to get to and think, right, so this is my journey. I've got to drop in an invitation to my event. Again, we're going to go with the event since I've made all those beautiful emails and forms. And then we can do some conditional behaviors. Also, check out that button right there. Who scrolls right to left when you scroll up and down? Life-changing when I found that. They should really label that one better. So here I'm going to drop in what I want to make conditions based on, so then I can conditionally react to what happens with the event. So if people register, I'm going to wait till the event, and then if they turn up, if they check in, I'm going to say thanks, because the really nice thing is that we can have check-ins. So the way the customer journey runs off this is great, and we can do that for Teams meetings, but also for in-life events whenever they ever happen again, you know. But again, it's all really visual. I like how they've added a lot of clues as to what's going on without having to dig down. It's changed a lot recently, and there's also a lot more coming. So it's a really exciting place to be right now. It also is it's about blip in time, but you can see here it's much more flexible. And for the people who didn't register for my event, I'm going to send them a reminder and just say, you forgot to sign up for my event. So look out for that if you ignored my email. Looking for you. Also, we've got this nice in-context, pop-out window type experience. So without leaving the customer journey, I can open things and see what's going on without having to close and flick between all my windows. So it's all that one place, one workspace. It's really beautiful. And the triggers for a customer journey. So the most magical power of Dynamics marketing is its segments. I can make segments across data that is beyond the advanced find. I can then combine those segments in any way I want. So I can include, I can exclude, I can say in this but not in this. And the suppression segment's another one. So I can say even if they're in my journey and they've met the conditions before, maybe I just don't want these people in that journey, and they will pull it out using that suppression segment. So it's a really good way to meet lots of conditions and make sure that customers go through the right journeys and they can respond to changes in data. The error handling is really neat as well. It explains in English what's wrong. Like it literally says you're missing something rather than going, something went wrong, can't do this now. So again, really marketer friendly, really visual, and almost, I'd hate to admit it, almost an enjoyable experience. I will look into the insight side of things later, almost. So I'm going to look into the insight side of things later, so I'll save that for later. And I think we're ready to start our journey.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I like it. Very good. Let's see what I've got, or what Click Dimensions has.
You built this yourself?
All right, so let's look at campaign automation, which is essentially the journey that we're going to be taking our customers on. So let's do a journey for a download for an ebook. So we've got our emoji ebook download journey, and this is going to be lead nurture. So we're going to fill out the information. What are we going to call this? And then we're going to just go ahead and jump into actually building that automation process. So we've got some templates we could pick from, or we can just go ahead and start blank. And we can see that we've got triggers that we can drag over. So our trigger is going to be when somebody has submitted a specific form. So we pick the form that we want. Then we can go down to actions and say, okay, well, when they've done that, let's go ahead and send an email. What email is it that we're going to send? Who's it going to come from? All of that good stuff. Once we've picked that and we've got that as the sort of the first trigger and then the action, we can then go ahead and say, okay, well, based on that, let's look at the sort of interaction someone might have. And we're saying, when someone's clicked on that email, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let's do a wait for, let's say, 3 days. And then let's go ahead and send them another email. Because if they've done that, maybe they're interested in some of our other articles. They might want to go ahead and read more information on the website. If they haven't, we can then go from the negative or the no, they didn't click on anything. And then we can kind of create what we would call a series of things. So we can kind of then combine almost another journey or automation within that one automation. So we can then say, okay, well, if they haven't, let's go ahead and mark them and put them into a marketing list called cold leads. Then let's go ahead and update the lead rating field perhaps. And we want to indicate that this person is then a cold lead. Oh, look, there we've got an emoji option set field. And then we can go ahead and do a notification to the user. So we can put in all of that information. We can build it out as really as big as we want it to go. And then we can go ahead and we can publish that journey. And we can then determine as soon as people start downloading that ebook, they're going to then fall into that journey. Once the journey's begun, we can then go ahead and we can look at the statistics of the journey. So we can see how many people have actually started and how many people have gone through and completed the full journey, or where they went, which direction. So we can see there for the ebook, we can go ahead and click on it and open, and we can see which participants have completed that part of the journey. how many people went through the wait timer, how many people went through, and so on. And is there anyone that's still currently going through that part of the journey? Because they could be taking slightly different times in terms of what it is that you've set up. So we've got a lot of information there that we can see about each stage of that journey. So yeah, I think the customer journeys or the campaign automation is really good in Click Dimensions.
It's been around a while as well. It's been hanging on in there.
Some might say the original.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But let's see.
And the winner of this round goes to Click Dimensions.
Well deserved. Very well established.
I think respect where it's due, right?
Yeah.
I think the marketing one is really good, but I think kind of we have to raise our hats, tip our hats.
Definitely. Definitely could do better from the Dynamics point of view, and Click Dimensions, it's solid.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty awesome. All right, so let's go to round 4. Let's see what it is.
I'm ready.
Round 4.
Gotta get a game faces back.
Sock it to social media.
All right.
Oh, I wish I could sock it to social media.
I know. Let's see how this one goes. Okay. I think we've both been honest on this one.
Oh, so you remember recently there was an announcement about the new features that were coming out in release wave 2 of 2020. I was like, finally, social media is coming to Dynamics Marketing. So they built us a really nice calendar, and you can post to Twitter and to LinkedIn and to Facebook. Still not Instagram, so we're still very B2B focused. We can now choose if we want LinkedIn, my personal account, or my company page, and the same for Facebook as well. No, I think I might be lying on that one. I think it's just LinkedIn.
No, you're not. You're not lying.
Oh, I'm not lying.
Not lying.
I didn't make up dreams. There we go.
No
Solid
lies.
reality.
No lies.
No lies. What's really nice is the calendar view. It's very visual for marketers. And the experience of building the post, again, lovely. You select your channel, you select who you're sending it as, so I could have multiple accounts set up, which is great. And again, on the right-hand side, you get this really nice preview. And as you start building your social post, you can see what it's actually going to look like in, I was going to say real life, but social media is not real life. So in reality, on the social media of choice. And then I can schedule that post or post it straight away. So I'm getting all my stuff done for the day. I can go on holiday for 2 weeks and my social media is alive. Insights. Got really excited. Thought it was going to be great. You only get the insights on LinkedIn business posts and Facebook, I believe. It's very disappointed. This was me after discovering the new features of social media integration in Dynamics Marketing. It used to be amazing. Can we just take a step back in time? I'm going to time travel to the days of social engagement. Can we have a moment's silence for social engagement? It's gone. Okay. I really hope we get it back one day. But that is that. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I feel like in this round we're kind of like allies together, what we should be, but we're kind of feeling the same. So let's see about Click Dimensions.
I hope you've got...
All right, so... just different. All right, so we can go ahead and we can create social posts. So we can go ahead and set up and link these to a campaign if we want to. So once I've gone ahead and I've created that, I can go ahead and click to create the post. And essentially I'm going to have similar stuff in terms of a visual. Now I can flick backwards and forwards and I can say, okay, well, is it LinkedIn? Is it Twitter? Is it Facebook, I believe as well? And I can have those connectors that are set up and set up as many as I want to. So I've got the ability to use the hashtags. I can then go ahead and I can schedule, I can put in images, I can add additional posts. So very similar in terms of how you'd actually be scheduling it within Twitter itself or within LinkedIn. I can do tags of people as well. So that's great. So I can go ahead and I can schedule it. So once I've scheduled that, I can then look through and I can see here's all of the active social posts that I've got. So let's go ahead and put in another one. So yeah, it's fairly easy. The only thing that I don't necessarily like so much is that it's using a third party solution. So when we're opening it up, it's actually opening another window, so it feels a bit sort of messy in terms of going backwards and forwards. I do like the fact that I can go ahead and search within LinkedIn, because there's actually not that many tools that will allow you to do that and do tags, but it only seems to let you be tagging an organization, or I guess a company page, rather than individuals. But that's not a slight, there are very few that actually allow you to do that, if any. So then what I've got is the ability to see, well, how many clicks have we had, or what clicks have we had on the different social posts? And the thing that I love is that if the contact already exists in the system, or the lead, we'll be able to see that, and it will be linked to that person, which to me, I wanted to be able to see that in Dynamics marketing. I've also got my calendar where I can see that, and I can also go directly into a specific post, and I can see my clicks and stuff from there. I can schedule posts directly from the calendar too, and then I also can get emails that will be sending me a bit of an overview in terms of posts, impressions, likes, and so on of those social posts. So again, it just feels a bit piecemeally in terms of I'm actually using a third-party tool as opposed to like everything being standard. But I do like that I can see which contacts have clicked on things.
Yeah. It's a much richer experience. You've got a lot much more stats, but then you lose the experience.
And also the stats are coming in an email rather than being able to see the stats within Dynamics. Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. So what do we think, winner-wise? Oh.
The winner of this round is neither.
Oh.
It is a draw.
Fair play.
Fair play.
Although I don't think either of us should have smiley faces.
No, it's just a bit of a not mad but just disappointed cat face, I think.
It's
is more
disappointing,
appropriate.
isn't it? Yeah. I think we had to cover it, but it's disappointing. All right, and let's see. Final round.
Round 5, the bonus round. Here, anything goes.
Oh,
All right.
anything?
Anything goes. What you got?
What have I got? I've got some insights, baby. Some deep insights. This is marketing's ultimate, I hate using this word, I've used it 4 times, bazinga. Look at I freaking love numbers and data, potato. You get analytics from every single angle. You can look at this. So this is just on an email. We're just on the email here, right? So I've seen where it's been clicked, how often it's been clicked, unique opens, and then I can go look at the delivery, see when it was delivered, blocked and processed. And I can then drill down, and I can also export those tables. So if I've got marketers or someone in the team that doesn't have access to Dynamics, I can actually export some of these analytics into lovely spreadsheets, because everyone loves spreadsheets. The heat map, it's going to go quickly, but damn, that's good. It's visual. My eyes are it's eye candy. I really like this. It shows me the interactions with that specific thing. But I can also switch it to the magical vertical switch. And again, I've got that power to export, report on it if I want to, and really get my hands in if I'm looking for a specific person or a specific thing that's going on. Again, this is still just for this single email. I can see what browser they've been using, who's opened it, who's clicked on it, and just basically everything that's going on with a single email. We're not done yet. We can also see when people are opening it. So then we can dig down. The darker squares is where people tend to open these. And then I can start to target my delivery of emails better for when people actually want to see their emails. You can also do the A/B testing, and that's pretty funky as well. I definitely encourage you to check it out. Customer journeys. Not the best. It's okay, but it's a bit blank. So I can see the numbers here, so I can see who's in flight, who's been disqualified from the specific segment, who's been blocked, and more about the journey experience. But I am stuck with just a single journey, but that's going to change soon. But I can't talk about that because it's not real now. I can also see who didn't get through the incomplete journeys, And also if maybe I've got some duplicates, because what it'll do automatically is pull them out so they only get one email, even if there's 7 of them as a contact duplicate. Really, really nice. Again, I would like a bit more on the customer journey, but the best bit is really when you dig down into the deeper insights about specific elements of the journey. And again, some more insights for you. Let's have a look at the marketing forms. So again, we've seen these used in events, we've seen them used for subscription centers, and for anything you need a form for, really. So likewise with Click Dimensions, we track our submissions, and again also our unique submissions, and we can also see what data was given in by each one, and drill down into when, where they came from, and also people that are perhaps visiting the form but not filling it in. That can make you think, oh, maybe I've designed that form too badly. Maybe there's too many questions. And finally, the contact. This is the ultimate 361-degree view of the contact. So from here, I can see for an individual contact, whether it's Jane Doe or John Smith or Missy Elliott, exactly what they've been up to in every way possible. I've got my marketing forms, subscriptions, emails that they've looked at, and I can see it straight from the point of view of that person. So if I'm looking to target them, either for marketing or sales purposes, it's a bit creepy how much I actually know about them. In summary, freaking amazing.
Wow, there's a whole lot of insights going on there. Nice.
Insightful, right?
Very insightful. I do have to say it is one of my favorite areas for dynamics marketing, so might struggle on this one, but I do have something that I love in Click Dimensions that is not in Dynamics, and that is the RSS connector. So in Click Dimensions, you have the ability to set up all of these different connectors that are basically tying things to your system. So I can go ahead and use the RSS feed for my website or multiple different feeds. So if we talk about subscription lists. To me, if I'm subscribing to something, I am wanting to get data as and when it comes out. So if I'm a marketer, I want to be able to use my feeds for my blog or my news feed or whatever. And I want to be able to schedule emails to be going out to people within those specific marketing lists. So I can set and say, okay, well, how often should this run? And then as soon as there's a new feed or new post in the feed, that email will be generated and sent out automatically to anyone that's in that marketing list. I can then go ahead and design the email in any way that I want. So I can use specific styling for the RSS portion of that email. So it's telling us this is where the title of the blog post is going to go. Then we'll have a date, and then we'll also have a snippet, or we can do the full text. So we can see where do I want the post title, date, and the content to be. And I can move those around if I want to change the order. So I can go ahead and I can put the date at the top, and then the title, and then the content will be displayed. So I can really style it how I want. It's going to look very simple, because what's going to happen is when that new RSS feed, when the new article is posted and it updates into the feed, it's going to replace it with the title of that post, and then we're going to be able to see all of that. We can go ahead and do previews just like we can with regular emails, so we can have a look and see what's it going to look like. I've got the social shares at the bottom. I've got social profiles at the bottom. We can see desktop, and we can see what it will look like on the mobile device. So I've used this before when I ran a marketing department, and we actually had 8 different feeds or different things that people could subscribe to. So it was absolutely invaluable in terms of being able to run that aspect of the business. And here we can see that this was actually generated and sent out from my blog, and it went ahead and it sent this email through with everything that was on that post. So somebody can get the email, read through, and we haven't had to do a single thing other than set up the original connector. I can just basically set it and that's it. And I can have emails that are going out to my customers on a regular basis based on the subscriptions that they want.
Wow.
What do you think?
That is
I love that feature.
Slick automation. That's so modern world. It's all about that whole inbound marketing. Build it and they will come. Show off your brand.
Absolutely.
Let your marketing tool work for you. Oh,
Yeah.
oh! I'm feeling less insightful now.
Winner. Who's the winner?
And the winner of this round goes to Dynamics 365 Marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The insights are so powerful that I agree, even though, but imagine, guys from Microsoft, if you had that RSS feed connector. there
If
would have been
only.
No contest. So, I don't know about you, Amy, but I haven't necessarily been keeping track all the through, so I wonder who the actual winner is.
I wonder.
And the winner of this contest, by judge's decision, is a draw.
Oh!
Oh, fancy that.
It's been nice fighting with you.
It's been a pleasure. We're just both so polite and English. After you.
I know,
No,
exactly.
after you.
No, after you. After you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost time to bring the ultimate marketing showdown to a close. But before we hang up our mittens, I need you to raise your hands and send some emoji-shaped appreciation for our host, our officiator, and our portal creator. It's Nick Dolman!
So, we now have time for questions.
We do.
Thanks very much for attending.
That's been real. It's been real and it's been fun. And it's nice to see that we can be friends even though we're using different marketing tools.
Yes. Well, it was a draw, so we're okay. We're saved. All right. Thanks, guys.